That is everything. You're going to need a space on the ground with arm width. So yoga mat's usually pretty good. If you can fit that, you should be fine. And with that, we're going to get started. So if you want to just stand on your mat comfortably, we're going to close our eyes and do a postural check-in. So let your arms relax, just let your whole body relax. And take some nice deep breaths. Just to kind of feel that out standing here, seeing how things are going. Really work on some big inhales and some big exhales. And now what I want you to do is focus in on your feet. If you're wearing shoes, I would advise taking them off. And what we're going to do is we're going to rock backwards, shift your weight onto your heels, keeping your knees relaxed, feeling that shift of your balance. And then we're going to go forwards, shifting weight onto the ball of your foot, and then back onto the heel. If you need to open your eyes for balance purposes, feel free. Otherwise, try and close them and really feel your feet back and forth. And you want to try and find back and forth, getting that subtle movement until you feel a good balance between the weight distributed on your toes, on the knuckles of your toes, and on your heel, so that forwards and backwards, you're in pretty good alignment on your feet. And once you find that, we're going to go side to side. So you're going to move your weight over to one leg, feeling it increase on your pinky and the outside edge of your foot. Try and keep your big toe knuckle pressed down and that front to back distribution you just found. Then you're going to shift over, keeping the points you found on the other foot back and forth, feeling your weight shifting around. Again, eyes closed if you can manage the balance. Otherwise, feel free to have them open. And you're trying to find a left to right balance and feeling the big toe knuckle, the pinky toe knuckles press down and weight on your heel. And once you find that balance, you're going to just stand there, keeping those points of contact with the ground. And breathing, trying to relax your chest, keep your abs engaged, your glutes engaged, your knees relaxed slightly. Your head should be reaching up to the ceiling. Trying to really be conscious of what your feet are feeling, checking in with them. And go ahead and open your eyes, relax yourself a little bit. What we're going to do now is a nice foot postural technique. It's called foot screw. So you're going to take one foot, put down the knuckle of your big toe, and roll onto your pinky, and then put your heel down. And you're going to feel your arch fire up real strongly. You should feel nice weight distribution on your foot, just like we got. You're going to take the other one, weight onto that, and twist it down, and then shift onto that leg. And we're just going to go back and forth with this, getting the body familiar with this positioning. So knuckle of the big toe twisting to the pinky, setting the heel down. Shift your weight, knuckle of the big toe twist to the pinky, shift your heel down. You should feel this in the arch of your foot, maybe in your calf, maybe in your ankle. Depends on where your feet need some extra help. If they need some extra help, this shouldn't be painful. This should just feel like you're engaging your feet, getting some muscles working. So just back and forth, putting the foot down, twisting it, pressing your heel to the ground, shifting the weight on that side. Really load that foot, feeling the muscles going. And you want to really be deliberate about pressing and twisting to get that down, because that sets your whole hip. Should feel this all the way up into your glute. I'm going to do one more on each side. And then I want you to keep that positioning on both feet for this next thing. So you're holding them, feeling the arch engaged. What we're going to do now is some ankle marching. So keeping your knees soft, everything good posture. You're going to bring one foot up as high as you can onto the ball foot, feeling weight onto your toes and down. And then the other foot, weight onto the toes, down, back and forth, pressing into that calf raise as high as you can. Keeping yourself tall, keeping yourself relaxed, and just breathing calmly. Pressing up high, feeling calf, feeling that arch maintain as you come down. If you want to, you can think like you did with the foot screw, and twist your heel down, or you can just go straight up and down. Either way is fine, as long as you're still feeling that tension in your arch and keeping the muscles of the feet engaged and feeling your glutes being engaged. Now my ankles are very clicky, so if you're hearing any kind of popping or clicking, that is what that is. If that happens, it's fine, as long as there's not any pain associated with it. So don't be super worried if that is occurring to you. It's a pretty common phenomenon. I'm going to do a couple more of these, really getting onto the toes, really pushing your toes down. And what we're going to do next, keeping that foot posture, we're going to do something called ankle rolls. So you're going to roll out onto the edge of your foot so that the sole of your foot points inwards, feeling that weight up the side, and then plant and roll to the inside of that foot. So you should feel this in the arch pretty strongly. Back to the ground, and then roll outwards with the other foot and inwards. Again, feeling that in the arch. Plant, out on the other side, in on that side, plant. So just back and forth with this, rolling on each side of the ankle, trying to get enough movement in there that you feel a little bit of a stretch. This shouldn't be painful at all. If you're pushing too hard, you're feeling kind of lax in your ankle joints, be more controlled with it, be a little slower. If you're feeling really comfortable with this, what you can do is get a little bit wider with your stance and roll out a little farther with both feet, and then roll in with both feet. Right? You don't have to do this if you want to keep going back and forth with the single legs, but if you're feeling really comfortable with this, you can try this method. And this is really good for not getting just the ankles, but your hips, your back, because you're getting rotation of your femur. I know this looks probably a little odd. You might think it's maybe a little dangerous to roll on the ankle like this, but as long as you're doing it controlled, it's fine, and you're actually strengthening things to make injury less likely. And with that, we're going to come in and stop. You're going to bring your feet all the way together, heels and big toe. Really try and squeeze your big toes together, and your knees touch. You're going to put your hands on your knees by pushing your hips backwards, feeling a little bit of a stretch in the hamstring. And we're going to do circles. So moving your knees as far forwards as you can, all the way up, and then to the sides. Try and focus on your feet. Feel those points that we've been working on this whole time. Pinky toe, big toe knuckle, the heel. You're shifting. Try not to move forward enough that you come off your heel. If you do, that's fine. But you want to feel a little bit of a stretch in your calf as you push forwards. Just keep breathing. And we're going to pause and go the other direction. So you should be feeling this in the ankle, in the knee, maybe in your hamstring as you push up. Just calmly, slowly breathing. And go ahead and stand up and widen your feet out a little bit. We're going to do hip circles now. So focusing on your pelvis and feeling your tailbone, you're going to be moving in big circles, keeping your knees soft and just pushing to the side, forwards, to the side, backwards, moving your pelvis in a nice big circle. As like you're doing a really giant hula hoop. Let your arms relax. You don't necessarily want to let your torso relax too much, but don't be very stiff with it, because then you're going to be impeding the movement of your pelvis. And try and take note if you're feeling tighter on one side. For me, pushing to the right, very tight compared to pushing to the left. So I try and really accentuate that side of the movement. So I get a little bit more stretch on that side. Try and keep your feet nicely engaged to the ground. Now we're going to come up and go the other direction. Again, just upper body's fairly relaxed, allowing yourself to stay balanced over your feet. If this is challenging for your balance, just do smaller circles and try and really control. If you're feeling really good with your balance, you can try closing your eyes. That'll make that a little bit more challenging. Also, you should be able to feel a little bit more internally pushing into those stretches. Really good for just warming up your back, your hips, again, the feet and the knees. And we're going to go ahead and come up. Find hip width if you were shifted off by that. Your arms are going to come up, so thumbs to shoulder. What we're going to do here is you're going to reach forwards with one hand, palm up to the ceiling. The other hand pulls backwards with your elbow. Your thumb is down, your palm is away. Big exhale. Inhale, you're going to shift and reach. This thumb comes down, palm away, other palm is up. Inhale. Exhale as you push into that position. Inhale, turn transition. Exhale to reach. Try and keep your knees relaxed, and your hips shouldn't be twisting too much. They can twist a little bit, but really try and feel this in your upper chest, your upper torso. That's where you want this rotation. Big inhale, big exhale as you reach. You're driving that elbow behind you as far as you can. Another big, strong exhale. Knees relaxed. You're feeling the weight on your feet. If you want to do the foot screw to make sure you're getting that positioning, feeling it in the arch, feel free. Just focus on reaching that front arm, reaching your elbow backwards. So you give that strong exhale. If you feel your rib cage tipping upwards as you're pulling, that means you're pulling a little bit too hard. Just try and keep your ribs relaxed and you're not shifting them as you do this upwards and downwards. You're just rotating. We're going to go one more on each side. Very nice. Shake the arms out because that probably got a little bit of lactic acid. What we're doing next is some overhead reaching. So you're going to have thumbs to shoulder, heads up nice and tall. Same foot positioning with the knee relaxed. We're going to reach up. Your palms are going to come together. You're going to bring your chest down and your head down and squeeze. And you're going to come bringing the chest up, pulling the hands down, thumbs to shoulder, trying to point your sternum up to the ceiling. Big exhale. Inhale to transition. Exhale to squeeze. Big inhale. And exhale. Holding the elbows down, squeezing the shoulder blades. Inhale, transition. Exhale, reaching and squeezing. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Should be feeling that a lot of places in your chest, your upper back, maybe in your abs. Keep your knees soft. You might have a tendency to want to lock out as you're pulling downwards. I'm gonna do a couple more of these. Should be feeling nice and warm. This should be getting your heart rate elevated. You're putting a lot of force through your body. Last one. Big exhale. And big exhale. Let that relax, shake it out if you need to. That always really gets my upper back, my shoulder blades. So you might need to do some rolls. What we're gonna do next is some wrist stiff. So you're gonna put your hands together right by your sternum, pushing your fingertips, knuckles, and the base of your palm. So those three areas on every finger. You're gonna push down, squeezing, holding for an exhale. Inhale. Squeeze and hold. And down. Try to keep your chest opened up. You don't want to roll forwards. Head's nice and tall. Again, being soft, weight evenly distributed on your feet. Make sure you're getting the fingertips. And twist the hand down now. So thumb is forward, fingers are down. You relax down to here. All those points of contact, squeezing, and you're lifting upwards. Should be feeling this on the other side of your forearm now. Just back and forth, holding, squeezing as you breathe out, feeling that warming up, that building of tension in your forearms. You're going to take the hands and put the backs of the hands together. Elbows are low again, pushing. Don't push quite so hard because this is a little painful. If you push too hard, your fingertips together, squeezing as you come up. Be gentler with this. Don't put so much force as you're pulling upwards because of the backs of the forearms. Not strong. But again, holding on that exhale. Trying to keep the elbows low, the chest big. You're pulling the shoulder blades together. And relax that down. And we're gonna go to the ground now. If you have any kind of knee issues, go ahead and grab yourself a pillow or roll the mat a little bit. What we're going to do is some kneeling glute squeezes. So from this position, you're going to sink down and put your hands behind your feet. Now, if just getting to here is a challenge and you feel a lot of tension, you're just gonna hold here and squeeze your glutes and your abs on an exhale. If you're feeling like this is pretty okay, you're gonna come down to your elbows, right? And from here, where you find your pelvis, twist it and push up ever so slightly with your exhales. Inhale, let it relax. Exhale, pushing, twisting the pelvis. The twisting is very important. That's what really gets the stretch here. If you just try and go up, it's not as effective. So you want to really twist and you're pulling the front of your pants up towards your ribs, or you're thinking your tailbone is moving towards your knees. Whatever helps you visualize to find that stretch. Hip flexor down to the quad. Try and push through your elbows or your hands so your chest stays nice and high. Finding that tension, finding that squeeze as you breathe out. You might feel like your femurs are rolling, like twisting outwards, and they should be. If you're not feeling that, that's okay. But if you are, try and emphasize that a little bit. Try and really feel that twisting of your femur. I'm gonna do a couple more of these. If your neck starts to get tired, you can look forwards. That is a little better if you're going to look up. And the last one, we're going to hold this for a little bit longer. So get into that position of tension. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale and really squeeze a little harder. Inhale, come down, and we're going to bring ourselves up, pushing through the hands all the way back up. Your ankles might be a little tired from that, so if you need to wiggle them, feel free. Next up, what we're going to do is have our legs forwards. We're seated up nice and tall. If you need, feel free to bend the knees here so you can maintain the weight down through your pelvis. What we're going to be doing here is up nice and tall. You're going to put your hands wherever they would land on your legs and push to maintain that nice upright posture, that big chest, shoulder blades spread. Take a big breath. On your exhale, you're going to push your hands on your legs, reaching forwards, trying to bring your sternum to your feet. Inhale, come up. Exhale, reach forwards. Inhale up, exhale, reach forwards. The more you pull your feet towards you, the more tension you're going to get from the stretch. Big inhales, big exhales. And trying to really keep your spine as long as you can. So you're not trying to fold forwards, you're trying to lean forwards. So you're leaning at your pelvis. I'm going to do a couple more of these. Last one, we're going to hold in that bottom position, in that big lean. And what we're going to do here is some ankle movements. So finding that tension, you're going to push, point your toes. Inhale. And exhale, you're going to pull your toes really hard. And then point. And then pull. That pull should get a lot more tension. Release of tension, you can move forward a little bit. Pull into that tension, feel that calf stretch. And go ahead and come up. And what we're going to do next is to get into a butterfly position. So feet together, toes together. You can take your hands and adjust your pelvis positioning until you feel a nice amount of weight. Push your head up. What we're going to be doing here is the same leaning. So you're leaning forwards on an exhale, sternum to your feet. Inhale, come up. Exhale. Forwards, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Trying to keep your head tall. Feeling this in the groin. So trying to keep your knees nice and low as you do this. And really bringing that sternum down towards the feet. Go ahead and do a couple more of these. I gotta check. I have a timer going that somehow got messed up, so I have to cancel that. And we're gonna go ahead and finish on this one, holding down. And get that one big exhale. Really try and squeeze yourself, pulling your chest down, and come up and get into a crisscross position. So whatever is the comfortable method for you to do this, you're going to take your hands, put them on the small of your back, and open the chest up. And here we're going to do some head rolls. So you're going to find your chin or your nose, whatever you want to think about. And you're going to make as big a circles as you can. Going backwards, going up, going to the side, going down. Just calmly breathing, keeping that little bit of an arch to your low back, opening the chest up. Really twisting as you go through this. Keeping your teeth together, but you're not squeezing really hard. So if you're feeling that you're opening your jaw at points during this movement, try and just keep your teeth touching and breathing through your nose. If you struggle with that, feel free to breathe through your mouth. Just try not to open your jaw too much. And we're going to pause at the bottom and go the other way. Again, big circles, big as you can make them. Slow, controlled, breathing calmly. You can have your eyes closed or open, it's up to you. I like to close my eyes so I can really feel what my neck's doing. Feel where I have tensions and tightness and maybe clickings. Try and let them go, let them release. I'm going to do a couple more circles. And we're going to pause at the bottom. Let the arms go, bring the head up. And the last thing we're going to do is some star pose breathing. So you're going to lay on the ground, get your feet as wide as you comfortably can. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. And let your arms come down on a 45-degree angle so you feel some stretching in your chest. Trying to push your heels away. And laying in this position, I'm going to take 10, not 5 really deep breaths. Filling into the stomach. Exhaling, feeling your stomach pull down to the ground. Finding that tension in your chest. Trying to inflate your stomach. And then squeezing it downwards. Really working on your volume of air. Last one, make it really big, make it nice and slow. And gently bring your limbs together. Roll up to a side. And that is going to be it for this applied mobility class. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time.